While I may have reviewed a lot of twin-stick shooters over the last few years, I still enjoy the genre, and there's a new one called Riddled Corpses EX now out on PS4. But is this a crazy corpse riddle convoy that's worth joining along, or should this one just stay buried underground? Riddled Corpses EX is a frantic twin-stick shooter with a retro graphic style that's able to be played up to 2 players locally. Unfortunately, though, there is no online. You start off with one playable character, all the other ones you have to unlock either by beating the game or by using your money in-game to unlock them. Every character starts off at level 1, and you get to use the money in order to not only buy new characters, but also upgrade the ones that you currently have. Every time you buy an upgrade, of course, it will increase the amount of money needed for the next upgrade, but you're going to have to grind out quite a bit of levels in order to finally best all of the game's levels. The game is broken up into 3 main modes: Survival, Arcade, and Story Mode. In Story Mode, you're going through the game's main levels in a linear style, little bits of story here and there, nothing that ends up bogging down the gameplay. The game has a very horde mode mentality. Every level is broken up into multiple waves of enemies that you'll have to defeat. Basically, you'll defeat a wave either by getting rid of all the enemies on screen or just standing around long enough that the meter at the bottom ends up depleting. Either way, once the wave is complete, the level will start to auto-scroll. There's a whole bunch of enemies during this time, but eventually you'll come to another stop where you'll take on the next wave. Some waves include mini-bosses that you'll have to deal with, and of course there's a big boss at the end of each one of the levels. The bosses are quite enjoyable fights, pretty difficult at times, and very much remind me of the classic arcade game Smash TV. They break apart, they go into multiple different forms, all in one battle, making for something that's very intense. The other modes, Arcade Mode is pretty much story mode, just in an arcade fashion, and then the Survival Mode drops you into a random arena, with wave after wave of randomly generated enemies coming towards you, and you just try to survive as long as you can. The mode itself isn't that interesting, but because you're able to grind money in it, it's a great way to get a few extra levels before jumping back into the main story mode. My only real issue with Riddled Corpses, besides the relatively short length of the game, is it makes up for that short length by becoming an absolute grind fest. Even if you're really good at twin-stick shooters, you're probably going to get overwhelmed before level 3 if you're just kind of starting at level 1 and progressing naturally. Because of this, it is very, very easy for you to just spend many hours just playing the same levels or the arena to have enough experience or money to either unlock new characters, which I highly recommend getting the one with the magnetism item. It will allow you to easily get money a lot faster, or just leveling up the character of your preference so that you can end up going into the story mode again and actually be able to take on the later bosses. Don't get me wrong, Riddled Corpses EX is a lot of fun, especially with a friend, for a bit of time. You're going to want to put maybe 30 minutes, an hour or 2 into it at most. Trying to grind it all out in one session, you're probably going to get bored before you end up seeing it through to the end. From the technical side of things though, everything ran smoothly, didn't run any major crashes or other glitches. The game is available on PS4, Vita, Xbox One, and PC. It is cross-buy between PS4 and Vita with a Platinum trophy. Overall, Riddled Corpses EX is a very fun twin-stick shooter for about 30 minutes or an hour or so. It'll probably take you several more hours to actually get through everything, but most of that time is going to be spent grinding out the bit of money you may need in order to level up. If you have a friend to join you, not only will the game be more enjoyable and less of a grind, it'll also be easier because it definitely helps out with having somebody else to take some of the zombies away. With everything said though, I still enjoyed the game, but it has some flaws. I'm going to be giving it a 6 out of 10. But anyway guys, to wrap up this review, I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.